Why wait to earn the degree you deserve? You have the experience, you have the knowledge. Now's the time to get the credit for the work you've done and earn the recognition you deserve by starting your comeback at Purdue Global. It's time to earn a degree you'll be proud of, a degree that employers will respect. It's never too late. Never too late to come back stronger and move forward in your career. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu. Purdue's online university for working adults.
This episode is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. It's a special thing to be a member of Navy Federal because they are a member-owned, not-for-profit credit union that invests in its members with amazing rates and low fees. That's why members could earn and save more every year. Plus, they serve all branches of the armed forces, veterans, and their families. So if you're interested in becoming a member, learn more at NavyFederal.org. At Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Episode 336, How to Get Self-Care and Healthcare Treatments for Free or Low Cost.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends Podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to Frugal Friends Podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Jill.
In this podcast, we look through the internet to find what's on the front page of Google, and we tell you what's worth listening to and what we've experienced probably doesn't work. But hey, maybe could work for you. Caveats, right? So that is what we do on Frugal Friends Podcast. And today, we are looking into self-care and healthcare treatments. Not like necessary healthcare, but elective.
Yeah, and self-care can intersect with beauty and the things that we like to do to be pampered. So we're all over the map, but hopefully you get some great tips and things to try if you never have. But first, this episode is brought to you by Whisper Down the Lane, a fun game where the original message usually gets distorted in a wild way. But in the age of tablets, this sponsor wants to remind us of that simple game we used to play. And if you miss whispering down the lane, but you're an adult now and you need to elevate this pastime, then engage in our friend letter referral program. Basically, once you are signed up to receive our newsletter, you can tell your friends about it and through your own personalized link. When they sign up, we track it, you get free merch. The more signups you get through your link, the better stuff you get, like a mug or a sweatshirt. Fall's coming. It's just around the corner. You need that sweatshirt. So don't just whisper, yell at your friends about how great this is, and then get free stuff for yourself. It's the Frugal Friends Friend Letter Referral Program, not saying it's the best title, but you can begin that journey at frugalfriendspodcast.com/friend letter. You get the friend letter yourself and then use the referral link to tell others about it. Free stuff comes to your door.
Yes. If you're wondering where your referral link is, it is at the bottom of every friend letter. And we will tell you how close you are to your next merch prize. So thank you for sharing and being one of our friends. So we know that self-care is not something that you can purchase. It is necessary and you can get it for free. We talk about that in one of our other episodes. I forget which one it is, but today we're talking about stuff you can buy, and that is beauty and like supplementary healthcare types of things. We'll get into it. You'll get it. But we have some specific beauty episodes for you to queue up after this if you want to. Episode 25. Yikes. Wow. All the way back there. Frugal Beauty, so all natural and affordable beauty and skincare products. And then episode 132, the pink tax, what it is and how to avoid it. So we talk about how women are coaxed into spending more, and also just like the nuts and bolts of how products for women actually do cost more and what we can do to lower that. So today is kind of in the same vein as those. But yeah, so let's get it started with our first article. And this is from Stylecaster. It's the secret to getting free or seriously cheap beauty services. And if you're not into like beauty stuff, stay with us because we've got other free and low-cost services that you can get later on.
So I'm just going to pick some of my favorites. Jen will pick hers. We're not going to go through all of the tips in this article, but it is linked in our show notes. The first one on here that I liked and have utilized this tip in the past, so I can vouch for the fact that it's possible, is to look for new client discounts. So at any of the places that you might want to receive a service, whether it's a haircut or wax or fill in the blanks. I don't know what else we do to our bodies, but look at whether they offer a discount or maybe even a free service. So for example, European wax centers will offer first-time visitors a free bikini line eyebrow or underarm wax, like completely free. Or they also mentioned this other salon called Merle Norman Studio Locations. You can get a free 20-minute facial. So those are just some examples. Check out the spots that are local to you and see if new clients get a discount or even a bonus thing that you don't have to pay for, which is super fun. And then you can bounce around, especially if you're living in a new area. Like when Eric and I moved to Florida, I was able to try out a bunch of different places until I could settle on where do I want to go regularly? What place do I like the most? But in the meantime, as you're testing out these places, getting discounts along the way.
Mm-hmm. Another one that I like is to score a makeover. And so this one is, you have to try this one judicially because it's saying you can go to your local Mac store or department store and just go in and get your makeup done. That is true, but they're going to want you to buy something. So what you can do is if you have already bought something from a Mac or an Ulta or a department store, you can go in with the thing that you have purchased and say, hey, I have this. I am not sure if it's right for me or how to use it or how to pair it with something else. And then you can ask for like a demonstration on how to, or maybe you can go in with a look that you're thinking about and say, hey, this is what I have from you guys. Is it possible for me? How would I do this on my own? So you want to go in with something you've already purchased from them, and then you can get the suggestions for what else you can get and consider them. You don't have to make the purchase, but it is a little moochy if you just go in there and say, can you do my makeup for free? Though some people would love to, but we want to be as respectful of people's time as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have heard that can be hit or miss. The people who work at those stores can be a little upset if you don't buy anything.
Rightfully so, if they work on commission and they spend time with you. So just be cautious.
Mm-hmm. Or plan that time out for when you know you need to replenish some item that you can buy from that store. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so the next one on here that I'm choosing is join daily deal sites like Groupon, which I have heard about and used plenty in the past, but these other two I've not heard of, but I'll mention them in case they're helpful. Life Booker and Gilt City, Gilt spelled Gilt. I checked out Gilt Cities. I've never heard of it before, but it seems like they offer discounts on a variety of things from spa type services, beauty products, even name brand designer products and resorts.
Wow.
It's kind of all over the map. If you're a little bit more bougie in your taste, you like the finer things, luxury calls to you.
We love that.
This would be a great spot to check out. Steeply discounted items, but again, if it's a designer brand, you're still going to be spending a decent amount on things. But it also looks like there are spa services at some of these spas that you can find in every state. So that's worth checking out. I've never heard it. I'm going to be digging through. So Groupon, I have utilized. You can find constantly massages, haircuts, waxing, laser hair removal treatments at places in your city and near you where you can get these services at sometimes 50 to 70% off, especially if you're a first-time visitor.
Well, we just put in the friend letter, if you're a subscriber, you got this. But if you are booking something like a health or wellness or beauty, something on Groupon, and you use Rakuten, then you can get like up to 10% cash back, I think, right now. So if you've never used Rakuten, you can get the Chrome extension and it'll tell you if you're on a site where you can get extra cash back on that site, and you just hit yes, and then you can get cash back. If you've never used Rakuten, you can get $30 bonus cash right now. So I think we did the math in the friend letter, and it was like if it's a $150 massage, that's $75 on Groupon, and then you've got the 10% cash back, so you've got $750 off, and then the $30 bonus. So you're paying like less than $38, $37.50 for a $150 massage. So you can get that bonus cash. Again, if you've never used Rakuten before, frugalfriendspodcast.com/Rakuten.
Love it.
And I love Groupon for that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So my next thing that I like on this list is to give out referrals. So I'm going to combine this with two on the list. The one is social media and one is referrals. So I'm in social media, Instagram for B2B type of things. Apparently, Instagram is now solely based for people hawking products. It's like a whole thing.
That's all it is.
It is. That's all Instagram is.
Before it was ads from other businesses. Now it's just all of our friends are feeding us ads.
But you can use this to your advantage. So if you are conscious of it, you don't have to hate it. You can be immune to it and not fall into it and use it to your advantage. So if there is a place that you love, this is much easier to do with local services. You don't need to have a huge following if you are a local person promoting a local brand. It's much better like someone like us, we cannot get local brand deals, no matter how many people we have. They don't want us, but they want you. So if there is a place that you love, see if you can go all out on social media, like them, comment on their stuff, give them love. So that boosts them in the local algorithm, makes their ads, less expensive if they're running them, and see if you can partner with them in some way. I follow this girl, Alexa Curtis, and I follow her because she kind of teaches people how to do this and loves to show herself getting rejected from doing it. So she'll try and get free hotel stays and she'll record herself on the phone with a hotel showing the process. And sometimes she'll get it and sometimes she won't. And she just records the process. So she shows people how to do this, Alexa Curtis. And you can just try it. Try it. If you have maybe 1,000, 2,000 followers, give it a shot and see if you can partner with local brands to get free services like haircuts, colors, hotel stays, maybe not a hotel stay, but all these different types of manicures, pedicures, stuff like that. And see how it works out for you.
I love that. That feels like the next level after learning how to negotiate your internet bill or your cell phone bill. Once you've become comfortable with negotiating, then you'll be comfortable with some of these cold calls to see what you could get for free.
Yes. And it very much is kind of 201 because we start with these negotiating bills down. And these are ways to lower our expenses. And we want to spend less money. We want the money that we're going out, we want to kind of stop and take back. And then this is 201. This is getting free stuff. This is stuff you wouldn't have bought, but if you can get it for free, you'll take it. So this is a cool little spin. See how it works for you. I've done it on a different level. So I don't know if they apply, the same rules apply, but literally it's just kind of reaching out, saying, this is my platform. This is where I'm located. All of my followers are located here too. And I see that you posted for National Hair Day. Are you going to celebrate that again? I would love to partner with you on that. Make it something relevant to what they have already posted in the past. Go back 9 to 12 months and see kind of what they've been doing and say I could help you do this more and kind of get more coverage on it if I can get this thing for free.
Yeah. The last one on here that I'll mention, although I've never tried it before, is to donate your hair to a place like Locks of Love, Wigs for Kids, Pantene Beautiful Lengths. And a lot of times salons will desire and be eager to partner with you in your hair donation and may give you a free or steeply discounted cut as they help to support you in donating your hair to these worthwhile causes. It's probably something I should look into because my hair is so long. I do know that these programs will have a lot of stipulations. So certainly look into it, make sure that you qualify to be able to donate hair based on length or type of hair. I don't know all of the different things that they're looking for, but don't just assume you can go into a salon and be like, I'm donating, and then they may not take your hair. But so there's a couple of steps here of making sure that your hair would qualify for a donation, and then calling around to various local salons to see if they offer any sort of discount as you are donating hair to help you cut it off and maybe receive a fresh new look and style. So that's a cool one. Obviously, just isn't going to happen every single time you get a cut. This is more of like a once every few years you could get this kind of discount, but worth looking into if your hair's long like me.
Mm-hmm. All right. And the last one on this list, and where we're going to spend the remainder of this episode, and it is the true secret to getting free or seriously cheap beauty services. So thank you for sticking with us 15 minutes into the episode while we bury the lead on the secret. It's to get a trainee blowout. And so what that means is, and you may have thought about this, you may have known this, but just like not, it doesn't come to top of mind. But when hairstylists are in training, they need models. And those models are given free or discounted haircuts, blowouts, sometimes color, chemical services. They are a student, but they are supervised very closely by teachers. So there are a ton of different self-care services that you can get for deeply discounted through this method. And both Jill and I have tried them. So we're going to kind of go a little deeper than this article goes into them on kind of what is available. So Jill, what self-care services have you gotten from schools?
I have both self-care and medical. I've gotten a cleaning and x-ray of my teeth at a school, which I think you have linked. It's one of the things we're going to talk about. Now, I did have to be willing to spend 3 hours in the chair. So for those of you who don't like having your teeth worked on, this may not be for you, but I was willing because we don't have dental insurance. So I was willing to spend my time over spending thousands of dollars out of pocket to get the x-ray, the exam, the teeth cleaning. And so I essentially was a model, a person that this practicing dental hygienist was able to clean my teeth. She did have someone, a supervisor, be able to come and check, and that person helped to make sure that everything was clean and being done properly. They were able to do x-rays because that's something else they had to practice. And I want to say it was less than $50. So again, I had to spend an afternoon there with somebody digging around in my mouth, but that felt so worth it to me. I have also, what else have I done? I want to say waxing. Now granted, I've not done a ton of these because my mind just didn't think of it that, oh, this could go beyond dental cleanings or haircuts. I've also done haircuts this way too, going to a school where someone who's practicing with your hair. Again, if you are a person who's really particular, then this may not be for you. But for me, I just want my dead ends gone, and I don't really care because it's going to grow out again. And that too, I want to say $15, $20 is how much a haircut would cost. And I think that they washed my hair as well. Lots of other things that you'll probably outline here, Jen, too, but those are the only ones now that I know. All of these people have to learn somehow. So everyone's out here practicing.
Yeah. There was a time in my life where exclusively every service I got was done at a school. So I have definitely had hair services done at a school. Aveda has schools. Paul Mitchell has schools. Those are franchises, but there are some individually owned ones. So this is something where we're not going to be able to give you a list. So we're telling you this information so that you know what's available and you can go online and search these types of schools to see what's in your area and then inquire about how to make an appointment. So I've done massages. There is a massage school nearby. And so I've had a massage at a massage school. It's great. I've done haircut, color. I even did a perm once, which is a story for later in the episode, which is, I know, if you're looking at me and you can see what my hair looks like, you will laugh. And then there's also at these same schools, waxing, manicures, and pedicures. Travis, for years, exclusively got his hair and beard trimmed at a barber school. Those things are different than cosmetology schools. So you can look for those for your hubby, for your man, or for you if you are a man. Mm-hmm. Facials. I actually haven't gotten a facial at a school, but that was the next thing that I wanted to try. These are some of the things. You're looking mostly for kind of trade schools like this that teach these skills. And all of them are going to require you to call for an appointment. These are not going to be book online, and they are going to require some time. Like I know Travis one time spent 4 hours at that barbershop, and that's a little unreasonable. I think you should plan to spend 2 hours for something that might normally take you 1 hour. So just kind of double the time. If it's going to take you 1 hour by a professional, plan to be at the school for 2 hours. So yeah, definitely facial is on my next, but you can get legit, like at the massage school near us, 80-minute massage.
It's wild.
It doesn't even matter
it's a long time.
What it's like. Like it's just so long. It has, like, you're going to get something from it. Them kneading into your body.
I've not done this yet, but Eric did go to the massage school near us a while ago for a massage, and he said it was great. I think he got the hour-long one, but it was fluorescent lighting in kind of a larger room. So he was like,
really?
That was kind of odd, where you might be more accustomed to a small room, dim lighting, soft music. This was a little bit more of a
Which school did he go to?
Hospital-like setting. I don't remember, but I just remember him talking about, like the curtains that separate you from others in the ER. Like they just had curtains and fluorescent lighting. But then he got a massage,
Was it down here?
Yeah.
Oh.
In St. Pete.
So I went to Cortiva, and it was definitely the hospital, whatever,
curtain dividers. Mm-hmm.
But they had the lights low and there was music playing.
Oh, okay.
The experience, they tried to keep it similar, even though it was like bulk. It was like massage in bulk. And everyone goes in at the same time and everyone like leaves at the same time because it's scheduled like these are all the 60-minute massages. These are all the 80-minute massages. So it's not like there's a lot of movement going on in the room while you're getting the massage.
That's smart.
Like everyone enters and leaves at the same time.
Yeah. Maybe they just didn't have the dimming function happening with their lights when Eric went. But you close your eyes. Just close your eyes.
Yeah. I haven't been to the new location. But also it may have to do with the trainees. So that's another thing to ask when you are calling, being like, hey, first years, second years, what's the difference? Newer ones probably might have the light on, whereas people about to graduate are practicing doing it in the dark. So again, something to ask when you call, because you do have to call to book these. There are 2 sites on this website that you can try to look for these schools. The first is salonapprentice.com and the other is salonguineapig.co.uk. So if you're in the UK, Salon Guinea Pig, Salon Apprentice if you're in the US. But I even had friends who were in hair school, and I did this a lot when I had friends in hair school, obviously, but they would have to do like whole shebang cut color to take pictures. So like you could get like a full like blowout, maybe not a cut, but blowout, makeup. You could get like headshots done with this sort of thing.
You're so excited. Got to use the hands to describe the headshot.
It was so fun, especially like I was young and had nothing else to do. But yeah, so there's so many options. I had really great experiences at the Paul Mitchell School and Aveda. Try those. Look for local ones too. But we've talked about self-care. Now we're going to talk a little bit about semi-elective healthcare. You won't be able to find like actual med schools doing free and low-cost treatments at the med school, though sometimes if you're friends with somebody at the med school, you may be able to be a guinea pig. I am not familiar with that sort of thing, so that's not what we're talking about. I don't know the ins and outs of med school, but I went to acupuncture school. I am a licensed, trained acupuncturist, and I know that we had a student clinic where we had to intern, where people got low-cost acupuncture, even like free low-cost B12 injections, all kinds of things. And so I wanted to find out, what are the other schools like that where you could get free or discounted like healthcare types of things?
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't you know, there is not a single article on it. I scoured Google. And so I had to come up with my own list. And the article that we're going to go through is simply what to expect when you go into a place like this. So it's from St. Pete College Dental Hygiene Clinic, which is where Jill went to get her dental cleaning.
Cleaning, an x-ray, an exam.
Yes.
They did it all.
So we'll speak from her experience here, but also my experience as an intern at one of these types of clinics.
AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing. And of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/strategic. That's oracle.com/strategic. oracle.com/strategic.
We know New Year's resolutions often don't stick. In fact, on average, they last around 30 days. So if saving money is on your 2024 resolution list, here's a foolproof way to stick to yours.
Switch your phone provider to Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for $15 a month.
For those of you paying close to $40 a month for just one phone line, this means a savings of $300 over the course of the year. We especially like Mint because all plans come with unlimited talk and text and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/frugal. That's mintmobile.com/frugal. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/frugal. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
We'll just go through some of the options, and I guess we'll start with mental health options.
So when it comes to specifically, I'm thinking about receiving support, whether it's counseling one-on-one or group counseling. There are plenty of ways to find this at a reduced cost, sometimes free, depending on what the type of care and support is that you're receiving. One of the sites that I would direct people to is NAMI, NAMI. It's a great website for discovering mental health supports in your area. You can search for counseling offices that might take your insurance or might operate on a sliding scale fee. I know when I worked at a counseling office, we would both take insurance and private pay clients, and depending on income levels, we would be able to offer counseling sessions at a reduced cost. You, of course, would have to be willing to submit pay stubs and kind of prove your income bracket to be eligible for reduced cost counseling services. But that is available and something worth looking into if you do need higher levels, clinical level type of care. There's also plenty of other options regarding support. So this would be more so support groups, but there are nearly everywhere you can find free support groups for grief and loss, substance misuse recovery, gambling, even just support for experiences of anxiety or what it's like to be a new parent. These can be found certainly by going to that website and NAMI's website, NAMI.org, I believe. But also you can check out local churches will often allow support groups to meet at their locations. You could Google just in your area, support group for whatever it is that you're seeking support for. And I will advocate just to say, there is so much benefit to meeting in a group with other people who are having similar experiences to you. Both one-on-one individual clinical counseling as well as support groups are great, but I wouldn't discount support groups if it's all that you are able to afford. Essentially, if you can't even afford anything, you're looking for something solely for free. There is a ton of research to support the fact that support groups can be phenomenally beneficial in being able to just talk through what you're experiencing with others who have gone through the same thing, or even to hear other people's stories, gain perspective, kind of put words to what you might be feeling and experiencing in ways that you might not have been able to say, and find yourself with like-minded people. So these are fantastic ways to be able to receive some of that community, emotional, mental health support that you can find for free or reduced costs.
Yeah. I want to touch back to the income topic first before we move on. A lot of people don't seek out these services because they think that all of them require you to be low income. And it's not the case for most of them. Yes, for medical schools and medical care and really one-on-one mental health care, stuff like that, stuff that is extremely important and vital that we would not classify as maybe elective, those things are reserved for lower income households. And you will need to prove that. And you should not take somebody's free healthcare or mental health services if you do not need them, if you can afford them on your own. However, there are a ton of things you can get that it doesn't matter your income. They're more elective. They're not the requirement. So like I said before, you're not going to find medical schools really doing this kind of sort of thing like we see at the massage schools or the acupuncture schools. The medical schools are going to be, those students are going to be in actual hospitals. They're going to be in actual practices. They're going to accept insurance. They're doing stuff like that. So I really looked, even outside of family care, I looked at optometry, podiatry, kind of the peripheral stuff too, like even plastic surgery, cosmetic stuff. And that across the board really is at hospitals. And you're going to pretty much be paying standard pricing for stuff like that. But stuff that we did find, and I will say, like, if you are in that income bracket, you should not feel ashamed or feel like you're taking anything away from seeking those services. Those services are available to you because of that income bracket. But if you're outside of it, don't game the system. But stuff that they need people in every income bracket are the stuff like acupuncture. I can go deeper into kind of what that was like, because I think it's going to be a pretty similar experience across the board. Massage, like we talked about earlier, the dental cleanings and the x-rays, like we mentioned earlier. Chiropractic schools will have clinics. I did see some podiatry stuff. So I think maybe more of the elective podiatry things. I don't know what those things would be. But if you're near a podiatry school, you can call and find out. Naturopathic medicine. So this is a third medical degree for a doctor. So you've got MD, you've got DO, and then you've got ND. And this is a holistic kind of medical doctor. They are not licensed in every state, so you don't really see them in hospitals. But if you're near a naturopathic medical school, that's one of the reasons why you can go see them for medical care, is because they're not as prevalent in the hospitals and the private practices and stuff. So they do have clinics that you can go in for family practice for a discounted rate. So search naturopathic medicine. They've got San Diego, Portland, Oregon, Chicago, I think Boston. There's a handful of schools around the country. Physical therapy, there are some, as long as it's like a physical therapy, like a master's program and not in the med school sort of track, then physical therapy, I found some schools had clinics where you could, if you have a sports injury, you can go in and kind of get diagnosed and treated there. And then one that I found out at the very last minute, right before we went to record this episode, and it's not healthcare, but I thought it was worth saying, was legal services. So, and this is another, you have to be in income bracket to get this. But if you are near a law school, you can call them and see what kind of legal services their students could offer to the public. There's these things called clinics, and that's how I found it, that students can kind of work on actual cases and help and serve the public while they're in school. Again, kind of all going through licensed attorneys and practicing attorneys. But so if you are in need and you are in a lower income household or know people in a lower income household that may need legal services and you can't afford to help them financially, then check out these law schools and see what services they have available to low income communities.
Yeah, that is awesome. While they're all still wide-eyed and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, understanding all of the ethical implications and studying the law to the T. It might be even more advantageous to get them while they're in school.
Yeah.
I will also add to that sometimes dentistry schools, so even beyond your dental hygiene schools, at least in the Tampa Bay area, there are dentistry schools that will even do implants and other more higher levels of dental care at reduced costs as well. So while sometimes this medical care, you'll need to support your financial need to be able to receive those services, but not all the time. So look and check in your area. I would say probably a rule of thumb is where sometimes your medical insurance doesn't cover these things. Don't know why they don't cover eyes and teeth, as if they're not real parts of our body that need care. But sometimes that is where you could find some reduced cost availability because insurance doesn't historically cover that. And you may not need to prove income level.
That's a good rule of thumb. I didn't immediately find anything locally for optometry, but I did not look at every single optometry school.
Well, but sometimes there are programs for even just getting reduced cost eyewear and glasses and contacts and that kind of a thing. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But you know what? You never have to prove your income for.
Let's take a look real quick at what you might want to expect at doing one of these. And we'll look at this one. This is just for a dental hygiene clinic in our area. We'll kind of go through it real quick so that you get an idea of cost, expectations, stuff like that. Jill, you can go through it because you actually did this one. So you can say what is most important here.
Yeah, so I went to a dental hygiene clinic close by to us, and they offer on their website a really clear pathway forward in being able to schedule. So you can call them up, schedule a time that works for you. Now, to be fair, the dental hygiene school that I went to, I believe they only had hours on Tuesdays or Thursdays. So I did have to have flexibility. I did go in the afternoon. So that is a factor to consider. I believe that they might have offered Saturday hours once a month, something like that. Those were harder to book because obviously more people want to be able to book on the weekend. But I was able to clear my schedule, go in the afternoon. When I arrived, there was maybe one other person in the waiting room, but it looked very similar to a typical dentist office. Once you walk through the school, they really wanted to make it feel like a typical office. So there was a waiting room, there was a desk. I went up, they had expected me. I had to fill out a little bit of paperwork. It was a matter of minutes, 5-10 minutes before the student who was practicing came and got me, sat me in the chair, and everything went very similar to how it would at a dentist's office, just a lot longer, like I had said. So she's practicing, and at each stage of the process, she had to have her supervisor, who has been in the dental hygiene field for, I want to say, over a decade. She would come and check the students' work at every stage. And they wanted to do the whole list of things. So that's partially why it took so long. It was the cleaning, the oral exam, the x-rays, the talking to me about dental hygiene. She had an entire list of things that she needed to be going through, which I was pleased for how thorough it was, but again, a long amount of time. Then we would go to the room to get the x-rays, back to the chair, but very similar to a typical dental annual visit that you might have, getting checked by the supervisor. So just factor that it's going to take a while, but after that, I paid $30 to $40 for that at the time for the entire afternoon.
Mm-hmm. So my experience as an intern at an acupuncture clinic is similar. So they made it feel like a clinic when you walked in. It didn't feel like a school. It had a separate entrance, a separate parking lot. We went in with the patient and we, took their intake, and then we would go out and we would consult with a practicing licensed acupuncturist about what we thought, what the protocol would be. And then we would get that approved, and then we would go back and we would do the treatment. So sometimes you will see like the practicing licensed individual, and sometimes you won't. I don't think sometimes if there was a interesting case, then the acupuncture would come in and kind of see for themselves. But if it was very cut and dry, especially like follow-ups, then they wouldn't come in and it could be faster. So if this is something like you're going to like a physical therapist or a massage therapist or an acupuncturist who's in school and you can see the same person over and over, it can get quicker with each subsequent visit. Things like dental hygiene, you probably won't be seeing the person over and over. But this website does say there's no charge for additional appointments or additional services, such as sealants and fluoride treatments, like for the same cleaning. Jill, did you have to go back another time, or was it just the one time?
No, just the one time. They said that they'd be happy to continue to see me in 6 months, like your typical dental office where they'll do a cleaning for you every 6 months. I didn't go back. I would.
We're not doctors.
I don't go to the doctors.
Don't take our medical advice, please.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, so that's kind of what to expect. Again, any place where you would be seeing a professional, assume that it's going to be double the time at a school. And I would say just Google the schools that are around you and what they offer. We gave you the list. They'll also be in our show notes. See what they offer, see when it's scheduled, because it's going to be maybe not as convenient as a professional place, and then kind of call and schedule and see what it's like. But they're typically very professional. So the barber school that Travis went into to get his cuts and trims, the front looked like a barber shop and the school was in the back. They try to make the experience great. Great for not just the client, but also real life for the student. So the student feels like they're in a real life setting and they're not in school. So yeah, that's, I think, the secret to getting these free mostly low cost services that we often forget about, but let's not sleep on it.
And brainstorm. There's probably more that we didn't even mention, but think about every single field needs to practice and start somewhere. I mean, this is outside of this particular exact theme that we're talking about, but even from website creation to photography to anything, everyone has to learn a trade and a skill. And usually as they're learning, if you're willing to sacrifice a degree of quality or your own time, you can typically get those things for reduced or free prices if you're willing to sacrifice in some other ways. So try it out. Speaking of areas that are free, that you really don't have to sacrifice anything for.
Oh, this is professional, low cost, and always, always a success. The Bill of the Week!
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the Bill of the Week.
Hi, Frugal friends. This is Kim in Rochester, Minnesota. Well, after listening to all 300 of your episodes, woohoo! I finally realized that I do need to call my internet provider and negotiate my service. So I called and I said, hey, is there any way I can lower my bill? I just see other services that are, $20, $30 lower. And the lady was super helpful, absolutely great customer service. And she said, based on where I live in a high cost of living area, that I qualify for the Affordable Connectivity Program. So now my bill will be $30 less a month, which is one of my credit card payments. So I can make an extra payment on my credit card. I am super excited, guys. Thank you so much for your advice. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the best. Have a nice day.
Kim, straight out the gate, I love your energy. First of all, that was very fun for us. I'm just going to start here, too. Thanks for listening to all of our episodes.
People be like, why you do so many episodes? And I'm like, because it takes Kim 300 episodes to make moves, and we're here for all of them. We're here for all of them, Kim.
Kim from Minnesota needed 300 episodes before she would call and lower her internet bill.
And some people will need 400 or 500, and we're here for you.
But well done, Kim, because you're making up for lost time here by not just lowering your internet bill, but choosing to put that savings into additional credit card payments to reduce your debt. So you are doing it. You have listened. Well done.
Yes. Congrats, Kim. This is fantastic. Credit card debt is a menace to society. And so I'm so glad you're going to be able to pay it off faster.
If you all are listening and you've been listening for a while and you want us to keep pumping out episodes, well, then we're going to keep needing your bills. If it's taken you all these episodes to make some moves, great. If you made moves a while ago and you never told us about it, well, call us up. frugalfriendspodcast.com/bill. Leave us your bill. It can be about anything. You can be from anywhere, Minnesota or Australia, anywhere in between. Leave us your bill. We're ready for it.
We all agree that reducing carbon emissions is a good thing. And once again, Toyota is leading the way. We hear a lot about fully electric vehicles, and Toyota has them, with more on the way. But we also know a BEV is not for everyone, whether it's because of cost, range, or concern about finding a charging station when your battery gets low. You start freaking out. Plus, the raw materials used to manufacture batteries are limited. Enter Beyond Zero, Toyota's vision for a carbon-neutral future in vehicles and in manufacturing plants too. In the years ahead, the materials used to make just one long-range battery for an EV could be used to make batteries for 6 plug-in hybrids or 90 gas-electric hybrids. That's why Toyota's position today is electrified, diversified, empowering you to choose how to reduce your own carbon footprint with the vehicle that's right for you, a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or a battery EV. So shop, learn more, and get details at toyota.com/beyond0. Toyota, let's go places.
It's never too late. Never too late to earn a degree. Never too late for a comeback. Between your busy career and taking care of a family, it can feel like there's never a good time to go back to school. But your time is now. Time to start your comeback with Purdue Global. As Purdue's online university for working adults, Purdue Global is dedicated to supporting adults like you who know it's time to earn the recognition you deserve. You have the experience, you have the knowledge, it's time to get credit for the work you've done. You can balance work, family, and everything in between while earning your degree. It's time to move forward in your career, for your family and for yourself, with a degree you're proud of, a degree that employers will recognize and respect. You're worth this investment in yourself to earn a degree you deserve. It's never too late. Never too late to go back to school and come back stronger with an education you can trust. Now is the time for your comeback. Start yours today at purdueglobal.edu.
And now it's time for the lightning round.
All right. So, as with any success, there will also be failure. And failure seems like such a harsh word, but it's just a little blip, a sad
You learn
blip.
from them.
Yes.
Failures are sometimes our best educators. So
Yes.
you don't need to avoid them. Lean in and learn.
So not everyone is going to have a good experience getting a service done at a school. And you're going to hear people are going to be like, I'm not going to try that because my friend had a horrible experience. And as somebody who has gotten so many services from schools, I too have had negative experiences.
And it hasn't stopped you yet.
And it hasn't stopped me yet, except now I don't have the time. Now I have the money and not the time, so I no longer go to schools. But if time is on your side and your money is better spent elsewhere, schools are where it's at. But our lightning round today is, what's the worst discount school service fail you've ever experienced? I have a lot of experiences, but honestly, only one has been bad of all the times.
Tell us about it.
So I volunteered for this nonprofit and traveled with them for a semester. And we did presentations in a bunch of schools. And one of those schools was Paul Mitchell schools, so the hair schools. So we would go to every town we went in that had a Paul Mitchell, we would do a presentation for their students. And they would always give us free something at the end. And so this was near the end of tour. So I had gotten free color. I had gotten free cut. I had gotten pretty much everything that I wanted to do to my hair for free. And so one of the girls was like, why don't we try and give you a perm so that it kind of like softens out your curls and decreases your frizz? And I was like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, because side note, Jen has curly hair.
Yeah.
Quite curly hair.
Yeah, like, I don't need a perm. So I was young and naive and I didn't think about it. So I was like, okay. So I was in that chair for a long time. Perms take a long time. And I was obviously out of school, so it took double the amount of time of regular perm. And at the very end, they were like, why? This isn't right. It shouldn't be like this.
No.
And after several minutes of sad deliberation, she realized she forgot to put the activator in. So I don't
know what that does. What does that mean?
It activates the perm. She put my hair,
Okay.
She put wet hair in rollers, essentially. She put wet hair in rollers.
That's okay. That sounds okay.
And that's it. That's all that happened. So nothing bad happened, but nothing happened. And I was in that chair for hours. Oh, I didn't want to be there. I was so done. I was so hungry. And no, I didn't. I never got the perm because she forgot to put the activator in.
Oh, wow. Okay. So your hair didn't fall out. Phew.
No. I know, right? We were waiting for the fallout of that.
Okay. If you ever were to play Never Have I Ever, would you have to drink when someone said got a perm? Like, where do you qualify that as? Did
I've
you
never
get a
had a
perm
perm.
or didn't you?
I didn't
Okay.
because
I guess you still would. Yeah.
she wet my hair and put it in rollers. That's not a perm. The perm is the chemical.
Yeah. You thought you were getting a perm, but you didn't get a perm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll never know if a perm would have taken my frizz away.
Wow. You're threading that needle right there. You won't know.
I'll never know.
Or if it would have made your hair fall
But
out.
I just figured out hair care via shampoos and conditioners and stuff, and I took my own frizz away without a perm.
But now, are you curious?
No, because that's so much work and so much chemical. Like, I don't even dye my hair. I don't put any chemicals in my hair.
Me neither.
So I don't really care to know because I would never do it again.
Although one time I did get my mother-in-law to give me a perm. And now I did actually get the perm. She did put the perm in the perm. She permed the perm.
The activator in.
Yeah.
And what did that look like?
Yeah, and I liked it. It looked great. I should try and find an old video or
Video of your curls
Picture.
bouncing. They were just so beautiful. They bounced.
Never took a photo, just jumped and videoed it.
Cool.
Okay, so for me, I have not explored the school thing enough to have a bad story. It's only been good for me, other than Eric's story of the fluorescent lights being on during his massage, but he wasn't even complaining. It was fine. So yes, I'm an advocate for do it. Go get the students to do the stuff on you. For me, it's when I'm trying to hack my medical care on my own at home that it doesn't go well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you've probably heard these stories before because I can't not talk about it. Some of them are more intimate than others.
They're things that probably should be saved for the after show.
Yeah, just know that I've tried to do a lot of things through internet research and herbs and stuff that, you just should probably take the internet away from me. Someday I'll get medical insurance, but I'm not going to go to the doctor. Just not going to do it. And so super glue and garlic and Eric's old t-shirts are going to just be how I move through life.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's wrap this thing up.
Well, we're not doctors. Don't take our medical advice on anything. But thank you so much for listening. Please let us know if you get any of your beauty or elective healthcare services from a school and you get a discount on it and you had a good experience. Please let us know on our Bill of the Week line. That will be so fun. But we also love reading your kind reviews. So maybe you can leave it in a review too. Or an email. We especially love this very sweet email from David. It said, "Congratulations. Your podcast has been a continual source of motivation for me over the past 4 years. Here in my little corner of Australia, getting the opportunity to support you, even if only a little, by buying a copy of your book will be a joy for me. My wife, 3 kids, and I live in a fairly high cost of living city in Australia. And through your podcast, I feel I have found some kindred spirits. We would typically have been advised against some of the decisions we've made, like as purchasing a house mortgage-free or avoiding credit entirely. But your philosophy around values-based spending, the radical middle, has been invaluable in giving a bit of community feel, despite being the odd one out. Thank you for everything." Thank you, David.
Wow. So kind. David, you obviously really get it. You understand. You and Kim must have been listening for a while to us because you understand, and we're so thrilled to have community near and far. And thank you to the rest of you who maybe you've not submitted a Bill of the Week or a review yet, but you're enjoying this show. We just appreciate your listens, of course. But if you've not done those things before, please do take a minute to at least leave a rating and review. If you are enjoying this show, it really helps us, because it helps other potential community members find us, know what to expect with the show, and possibly be able to find the support and tips that they need.
See you next time. Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Siriani. What was with the garlic? What did you do to garlic?
I had a feminine problem, and garlic was supposed to eradicate the itch.
Oh.
Yeah.
As somebody who has like a degree in a not an
more
allied
naturopathic.
healthcare and a natural, man,
Yeah.
do I love over-the-counter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like things that were made by, doctors.
It always ends up there, but I try to avoid antibiotics so much. But yeah, by the end of 7 days, I was quite literally, this is not figurative, banging my head against a wall. I was so uncomfortable. I had done apple cider vinegar in all of the ways. Apple cider vinegar every direction.
Oh, no.
Yogurt, garlic. Oh, my word. I had made a concoction of yogurt, garlic, and apple cider vinegar that I ate.
No.
That one I stirred together. Jen, I downed it. Because when you are to that point and you're so miserable, you'll do anything. And I mean anything. So yeah, I'm eating that. I'm doing other things that I can't talk about on the show. And yeah, it wasn't working. I did have to do antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where friends come in handy. We've got a friend who we can call up and say, here's my issue. And she'll write a script for us.
Well, telehealth is on every single insurance provider. I use healthcare sharing. You use healthcare sharing, and we have a free teledoc service.
Yep. Eventually, that's what I did. I did the telehealth, told them my symptoms, and then you can use GoodRx, which is an app, and it will give you like a coupon code for the prescription that you got. And it works anywhere, whether you're getting it from Costco or CVS or wherever your pharmacy is. I think I paid $6 for the antibiotic.
Honestly, that's how much antibiotics cost. They're so cheap.
Yeah.
You don't even need GoodRx most of the time.
I just don't like putting antibiotics in my body, but for this, whatever, it was worth it.
Sometimes it's worth it so it doesn't turn into a bigger, more expensive issue. So take care of yourself.
And I didn't even have to go to the doctor. You're right. I didn't even have to go.
Yeah. Come on.
But these are the things I do.
Leave garlic where it belongs in your pasta at Carrabba's.
With the best all-inclusive vacation deals to Mexico and the Caribbean, booking your getaway with Cheap Caribbean Vacations means you have more freedom to do your deal. Whether you want to enjoy snorkeling, endless margaritas and more, or simply soak up the sun and sand in a tropical paradise, Cheap Caribbean Vacations has your deal for that. Plan and book the exact getaway you want at exactly the right price for you by using our exclusive budget Beach Finder, or find a featured all-inclusive package to Iberostar Hotels and Resorts and do your deal at cheapcaribbean.com.
Bring home Napoleon.
Destiny has brought me here.
The action epic from acclaimed director Ridley Scott.
What is your name? Napoleon. You are the greatest leader in the history of the world.
Witness the rise.
You are nothing without me.
Of the legend. Starring Academy Award winner Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby.
I'm the first to admit when I make a mistake. I simply never do.
Napoleon. Buy or rent on digital now. Rated R.